This is Matt Monroe, and I did the voice of DJ West Coast Willie Wilson in the web series Mocos. And in this video, I want to record myself reading an unused script for a scene in the web series that I wrote, and I want to do this for archiving purposes because I think that the script was really good, and I submitted it into a competition against 5 other writers, and I lost, but I got that's a part of how I got the part to do the voice of DJ West Coast Willie Wilson, and I just like for people to be able to see this script in some capacity, so I'm going to read it today. Let's see. It says exterior park. I believe that's it's EXT. I think that's an abbreviation of exterior. And the character Tiffany, it says the character Tiffany is at the park talking to her friend on her cell phone while sitting on a bench by the water. And she's with her friend Brenda. It says Brenda says this, "Haha, why do you sound so sad?" And Tiffany says, "I think I'm pregnant." And Brenda says, "Well, then maybe you are pregnant, Tiffany. And if you are pregnant, you'll find out pretty soon." And Tiffany says, "I just don't know if I'm ready to be a mother." Brenda says, "Accidents happen, Tiffany. Just get an abortion. You know I've done it. The sooner it's done, the more humane it is." And Tiffany says, "I think that I would regret it regardless. But you also regret getting pregnant." Tiffany says, "I'm not sure if I'm pregnant yet." Brenda says, "My God, Tiffany, just buy a test kit and get it over with." Tiffany says, "I already bought a test kit, but I'm too scared to use it." Brenda says, "Oh, Tiffany, you poor baby. Listen, I'm still at work. I'll call you back." Tiffany says, "Okay, I need some time to think things over anyway." Brenda says, "I'll talk to you soon, Tiff. Bye." And exterior, the park bridge. Tiffany says, excuse me, Tiffany is walking across the bridge at the park, and she sees a couple kissing each other passionately. It makes her feel sad to see a man and a woman together at the park while she is there by herself, regretting her one-night stand with a complete stranger. Tiffany walks across the bridge and over to the ducks, and then her phone starts ringing. Tiffany looks at the screen of her cell phone and sees that it's Brenda calling her. Tiffany answers her phone. Brenda says, "Hey slut, did you use that test kit?" Tiffany says, "No, I'm walking around at the park. It helps me think." Brenda says, "Listen, Tiffany, I know that this is hard for you and you've always been a little softy, but I've been where you are right now, and the best thing you can do is use that test kit, because once you know that if you're really pregnant, it will get that much easier to decide what you want to do if it turns out that you are pregnant." And Tiffany says, "Can you imagine what it must be like to be a single mom?" And Brenda says, "Maybe you should start worrying about that once you know that you're pregnant. The whole point of buying a test kit is to find that out, Tiff." And Tiffany says, "Maybe it's not the thought of raising a child that scares me, but the thought of doing it alone." And Tiffany says, "Haha, that's classic Tiffany, always whining about something. Listen, bitch, I gotta go. I'll call you back as soon as I can. I hope you decide to use that test kit today. Bye." And exterior park playground. Tiffany walks over to a bench by the park playground and sees children playing on the playground. Tiffany smiles while she is thinking that the kids are very cute, and it makes her feel better about possibly being pregnant. Then Tiffany hears her phone ringing again. She takes her phone out of her pocket, and it's Brenda calling her again. Brenda says, "Are you preggo?" And Tiffany says, "I hope I am." And Brenda says, What made you make up your mind so fast? I think I would be a great mother. It would be just the thing I would need to stop being lonely. I could be so supportive of this child. I think that's so much better than being a murderer. I want to teach my child to be strong and kind. I can encourage my child to follow their dreams. I could really bring an amazing life into this world. Maybe I could even find a man with the same mindset and get married. And Brenda says, sounds like it's worth a shot. The only alternative is abortion, but then your life will be exactly the same. Maybe being a mother is exactly the change you need. And Tiffany says, now I just have to find out if I'm actually pregnant. If not, then it's like you said, my life will stay exactly the same. Exterior, Park Creek, then motel. There is a creek by the playground where a monster that is an undead serial killer with the head of a hyena is standing. He is near some ducks. He is holding a bag of parts of dead women and feeding the parts to the ducks so that it is easier for him to catch one. He picks up a duck that is eating the poor young woman's remains. The duck is quacking and struggling. He opens his mouth and leans his head forward, placing his jaws around the duck's head and neck. He closes his jaws quickly on the duck's neck. He pulls his head back, with the teeth sunk into the duck's neck, biting off its head. He swallows the head whole. Then he eats the duck's body very quickly. After eating the duck, he sniffs the air in search of a beautiful woman. He picks up the scent of Tiffany. He sneaks closer to where she is sitting on a park bench and hides behind a tree and stares at her. Then he goes back to the creek. Then Tiffany gets up from the bench and heads back to her motel room. We see Tiffany entering her motel room. Then we see the monster walking around outside close to the motel. Tiffany leaves her room and heads toward a patio. Man, I can't believe that I struggled to pronounce that word. At the motel to call Brenda. Tiffany says, I'm going to use the test kit tonight. And Brenda says, good, the sooner you know, the better. You're not being fair to yourself by dwelling on something you're not even sure about. Exterior motel. The monster is sneaking into Tiffany's motel room. Tiffany says, you're right, I really need to know. Thank you, Brenda. I don't know what I would do without you. Exterior motel patio. Tiffany is sitting on a chair at a table on the motel patio while the monster is staring at her through the window of her motel room. The monster stands perfectly still for a moment, and after that he presses his hands and face against the window, and then he licks the window slowly. The monster sees Tiffany get up from where she was sitting, and then she starts backing away from the window. Interior Tiffany's motel room. We see Tiffany opening the door to her room from a shot of the interior of the room. Then Tiffany walks over to the bathroom to use the test kit. We see Tiffany place the test kit on the bathroom counter after using it. Tiffany takes off all of her clothes before turning on the TV and getting in bed. Tiffany hears a little bit of hyena laughter coming from the closet. She hears her phone ring and it scares her a little bit after hearing the laughter, so she jumps while laying in bed. Tiffany reaches over to the phone while it rings. While Tiffany is getting ready to answer the call, the monster is quietly sneaking up on her. As she picks up her phone and is about to press the answer button, the monster hits her on the head with a tree branch. He pulls the covers off of her naked body while she is unconscious and rips open her pelvis and pulls out her intestines. Tiffany is moaning while she is regaining consciousness, and Brenda is on the other end of the phone asking Tiffany what is going on. The monster looks over at the phone and is hearing Brenda saying, Tiffany, what's going on? Are you okay? Why are you moaning like that? Are you getting fucked? The monster hits the phone with the tree branch and smashes it. Then we see the monster driving on the freeway listening to death metal. Then the camera cuts to a shot of the test kit results saying positive. Then the camera cuts back to the monster driving while he is holding a lock of Tiffany's hair and caressing his face with it. That was my unused script for an episode of Mocos, and I think it's pretty good. I think it's worth archiving, and I wrote the script based on a summary of what was supposed to happen in it. So not all the ideas in it are mine. So I had to base it on and just like write it in script format, and I added some of my own ideas, so it would have my own unique touch, and there's some things in there that are very much me, and just like my writing style. Like I always thought maybe I was influenced by Resident Evil because I play those games a lot. And I'm a pretty big fan of horror movies, so I was just like channeling my perspective of what the horror genre should be as I wrote this. And I hope that you liked the script, and I just thought I should show off my writing, some more of my writing, because I really enjoyed writing this, and I'd like more opportunities to write, and I think that's all I have to say about this. I hope you enjoyed this video.